I think he fits in. I think he fits in near the top. I wouldn't necessarily say that he should be favourite. There's others that have achieved more, perhaps numerically, but I feel like he fits in right up there. He stays the trip. He likes the track, the ground. He's pretty versatile as long as it's not heavy. There's just a lot to like. Preparation's been good as well. I mean, that's important. Preparation is key, and that's been really good. Arguably, the faster they go, the better he goes, because you can ride him even more conservatively. It's going to be a real interesting race. I see the race being run pretty straightforwardly, to be honest with you. There's a couple of good front runners in there, and you can't leave them alone. So people are going to have to follow, and it'll set it up to be a hell of a race. This is Kabral Du Mathan, and I'll start with the obvious answer to all your questions is yes, we are going to run. I'm not afraid to pitch this horse into battle. I think he comes into this very, very interestingly. He comes from a totally different angle. You've got all those horses in there that stayed 3 miles, know how to sort of get down and get dirty from the back of 2 out and really see it out. I've been absolutely impressed with him since day one in terms of his work and his outlook. I feel like his relaxing in the races is getting better. We jumped in this morning, he relaxed beautifully. I don't want to overexcite and over-egg the pudding here, but I really think that if we stay 3 miles, and I think we will, we've got a serious player on our hands here. So this is Load of Sud. Had a great start to the year, fantastic start to the year. Was blown away probably by the Schlur performance. He's a horse that's very good fresh. The mistake I made last year is I shouldn't have ran at Warwick in the Kingmaker. I should have gone straight to the Arkle. Now that's not saying that we would have won the Arkle, but we only had sort of 2.5 lengths to make up that day. And I've made sure we've not made that mistake this year. He went home to Lisa Hales's after he ran at Sandown for 3 weeks. She turned him out, had him fresh, looks brilliant. His work has been very good since he came back. He went to Warwick for an away day the other day. Yeah, it's all systems go. He jumped this morning, jumped nicely. Harry rode him. We can give him another bit of work this week, and I'd say we're about spot on then. We had him very ready for the Schlur, and he will be in at least Schlur form. There's a few in the race I think personally we can beat, and there's a few in the race that I think remains to be seen whether we can or we can't. And I think he's a real player. This is Maestro Conti, lovely horse, full of talent, a little bit more obviously rideable, manageable, and I feel like this horse can be more long-term. I feel is a little more relaxed. He did show a little bit too much spark, possibly on trials day, did a little bit too much halfway round. Harry had to wait on him for him to relax before he came home very, very strongly. We trained him for his season, and now we're training him for the championship. So we can push him a little harder up to the date. And that will help keep the lid on him. I feel like this is one of our best chances of the whole week. So this is Mydaddypaddy. You didn't see him last year. He didn't run at the meeting, but he did run around it and started his career very well in a bumper. Always looked high class. We've been delighted with how he's transferred into hurdles this year. I feel like I could have done things a little differently in the build-up to the Formby. And I think you'll see a better horse than you saw in the Formby. So yeah, we stand on the eve of it. And I feel like we are coming into the form that we can show. I think he will put up a career best on the Tuesday. And whether that's good enough or not, we will find out. But I feel, you can see physically this horse, he's a strong horse, but I think he's very high class. New Lion. You saw him last year, obviously, before he won the Turners. I've obviously never had a better chance, but I feel like all the things he's got are the required necessities for it. And that race should surely turn into a staying race, because it always does, right? They go a strong gallop, and you've got to stay really well. Put it this way, you might change your mind on whatever horse you fancy halfway down the back straight if they go fast or slow. If they go super fast, the non-believers in the New Line might change their mind halfway round because they're thinking this is going to turn into a staying race. So there's all these things to play out yet. But I know that he's got the things that we need to have for either eventuality. I think he'll go very, very close.